So this is part two to a scary story. And this is, yes, me shamelessly plugging my podcast that's on Spotify and Apple Podcast and YouTube. It's called The Double Face. Anyway, but this is about true crime. This is not about paranormal. So when my grandma got home, I explained exactly what happened, and my grandma said, "Let me bless the house." So we all step outside, and she blesses the house, and for like a week, it felt nice and normal. Well, one day my brother and I we were at home, and my grandma was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go to the grocery store. Do you guys want anything?" We were like, "No, we want this and we want that." Mind you, the house felt so nice that we weren't thinking anything twice. So she left myself and my brother, and then one of my sisters, and I want to say that she was one of the middle sisters. So I said, "Okay," and it was just three of us. So she takes the other kids and grocery shopping. So my sister happened to be downstairs watching TV. My brother and I were playing upstairs, and we were talking and doing whatever, listening to music. My brother says, "Hey, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go watch TV." I said, "Okay, well, I'm gonna stay up here." He goes downstairs. I'm by myself in the room. Mind you, it's just the three of us. While I'm in the room, the door's wide open. I'm starting to listen to music. Well, the music starts starts having white noise like, and I was like, "Oh, okay." Well, I thought it was the radio station at the time, not really thinking twice about it. So I was like, "Oh, let me let me adjust it." So I started adjusting the knob, and I put it back, and it's normal. So I was like, "Oh, okay," not thinking anything. So the music starts continuing, and I hear, and I was like, "What's going on with this?" So I changed the station to a different one, and it's almost every single radio station. And I was like, "Okay, well, this is getting weird." I was like, "Okay, well, I just unplug it." Mind you, it's a boombox that you can have batteries in it and it still work. Not so I was like, I unplug it, and it's still going. And I was like, "Oh, I guess my sister put batteries." So I look underneath it to see the batteries, and there's no batteries in there. Now I'm starting to get freaked out, and I was like, "Oh my god, I think this is happening again." You know what? I'm gonna go downstairs. As I start heading towards the door slams shut. I mean, slams shut so hard that it almost vibrates the wall. And I was like, "Whoa, what happened?" And so I start screaming. I'm thinking it's my brother messing with me, even though in order to close the door, you have to be inside the room to slam it. So I immediately know that it's not him, but I'm just justifying it in my head. Well, I'm trying the doorknob to see if it unlocks, and it's not unlocking. It's not budging at all. It's like so difficult. It's almost like I'm pulling concrete, like trying to tug on it with cement behind it. It's so heavy and so hard. Or the radio starts playing, and it's this like, oh, the noise is not audible, but it is. Oh, back then, you used to be able to like when if you have like any kind of old record players, you would put the record on, and even you slipped your hand, it would make that kind of noise, and it was making that kind of noise where it was playing back to you. Somebody was pulling it backwards, and it was making this eerie, slow song. But you know exactly what it is. If you slow any music down, it makes that. It's the same sound. Of course, I'm screaming. I know that the radio's not plugged. That boombox is not nothing. So I'm screaming. I'm banging on the door, and I'm yelling, "Come help me! Open the door! Open the door!" Yelling from the top of my lungs, and nobody's coming to my rescue. No one. As the radio's going, just quiets down. It is a pin drop in how quiet it is in the room. I can't even hear the TV downstairs. I can't hear my siblings. I can't hear anything. From So from the room, it's my brother's room to the right, and it's my brother's bed to the right, my bed to the left. Next to it is our closet. Our closet doesn't have a door, so it's just wide open. You could see our clothes. Well, by the door, you can't really see inside the closet because there's a little wall between that. So as I'm opening the door, I turn around to maybe tell myself, you know what, I can go through the window again. But then I see this black shadow. It looks like an arm reaching around the closet. And of course I start screaming because now you can't hear anything. But you can hear like how the hand slams onto the door, and then you just hear, and it's like somebody releasing their last breath is what it feels like and sounds like. Door is not like, I don't care if I break it at this point. And then you see the shadow of like what seems to be like a face. Of course, I'm screaming, looking like this. And I can see that the face, the eyes are almost like this yellowy red. And the further it starts revealing itself, it starts revealing like the teeth. And the teeth, I don't know how to explain it. They're disgusting, they're dirty, they're grungy, they're just gross. Cause it's more like it's smiling. And by this point, I was like, I have to run to the window and jump out of the window. I finally pull, and I'm pulling everything. I think I even have a foot up. I can't recall every little bit, but I remember I think I'm pulling at the door with my foot. Finally, I pull the door open. Mind you, the doorknob at this point should have fallen off. It's not like it's heavy doors. It's not like it's great doors either. It finally opens, and I don't skip a beat, and I run downstairs, and I was all, and I'm running. And I was like, "You're assholes! How come you didn't help me?" And I'm screaming at my siblings, and they're like, "What?" I was screaming upstairs. You didn't hear me. I hate you. And they're like, "We didn't hear anything." They both said, "Hey, calm down. We didn't." What do you mean? I said, "There's something upstairs." As I said, "There's something upstairs." The slam of all the, and if you can hear each door slam at the exact same time, pop! It was like a, you know, when you slam a door, the way it sounds, every single door to the rooms upstairs slammed so hard. And I was like, and we all get scared and we all run outside and we're just waiting for my grandmother. We are not, I'm in tears. My brother's in tears. Like, we're just scared. But it feels like, and this continues to happen for years, that we happen to bless it and as much as we can, but at the end of the day, that's all we have. But that's the other story. Anyway, this is my podcast, the True Crime, the Double Face. It's a true crime podcast. Thank you. Dame un besito.